Children, good morning. In the previous class, we completed trigonometric ratio and trigonometric identity completely. Okay, today in this class, let us discuss some applications of trigonometry. Whatever we learn from trigonometric ratio and identity, let us apply the concept of ratio and identity, not particularly trigonometric ratio, the concept of trigonometric ratio to problems. Okay. Now, to problems on height and distance means either finding height or find distance. What is that we are going to discuss today in this class. Now, before we discuss the application of trigonometry to problems involving height and distance, we have to know certain things. One is we have to understand some terms like angle of elevation. You see, children, angle of elevation. What is angle of elevation? Angle of depression. These are the two things which we have to understand. Then only we can apply the concept of trigonometric ratio to problems involving height and distance. Okay? Now see, look at children. Suppose an observer means any person. Suppose you are standing at the point O. Suppose O is a point where someone is standing. You are standing, I am standing, or anybody is standing. And suppose this is the top of a tree. Look at. Suppose P is the top of a tree and a bird is sitting. Suppose a bird is sitting here. A bird is sitting here. A boy is standing here. Now, if the boy looks at the bird, suppose the boy is looking at the bird. You see, when the boy looks at the bird is at P. The boy is standing. That means the eyes of the boy are here at the point O. Here is the bird on a tree, sitting on a tree. Okay. Now when the boy looks or when the boy observes the bird sitting on a tree, now this line you see, this line OP, what is this line called? This line is called your line of sight. I am writing here. It is called line of sight. You see. It is called the line of sight. Now see, the bird is sitting here, the boy is observing the bird sitting on the tree. This is the line of the tree. Now at this point, if we draw a line horizontal means what? Parallel. At the point O, where the bird is sitting, if we draw a line, horizontal line, parallel to the ground, okay, parallel to the ground, if a horizontal line is drawn, now look at this angle. A horizontal line has been drawn at the point what? P as well as at the O. This is the horizontal line. You see, horizontal line. This is also the horizontal line. What I mean to say, children, you see, the boy is standing, once again I am saying, the boy is standing at the point O. He is looking at a bird sitting on a tree at the point, suppose P. Now if we join O and P, we will get a line. That line is called the line of sight. Okay. Now at this point, if you draw a horizontal line and at the point O, at the point of observation O, if we draw another horizontal line, this line, then look at, an angle has been formed here as well as here, you see. So, the angle which has been formed at the point O, that means angle AOP, you see, angle AOP, look at the figure, angle AOP. This angle is called the angle of elevation, you see. So, first we are discussing what is angle of elevation, you see. Angle of elevation, see, angle AOP or angle POA is called the angle of elevation. So what is angle of elevation? That means, what is angle of elevation? See, here the object means the bird. The bird is above and the boy is standing on the ground looking at or observing at the bird. So this is your line of sight and this is horizontal line and this is horizontal line. So this angle which is formed at the eyes of the observer means the boy, at the eyes of the observer, the angle which is formed with the horizontal line is known as angle of elevation. That means, you see, what we will say, angle of elevation, see, angle of elevation, whose angle of elevation? Angle of elevation of P. P means the bird sitting at this point. Angle of elevation of the bird sitting at P. Angle of elevation of P at O. At O means at the point of observation, where the observer is standing or the boy is standing and observing the bird. This is the point of observation, okay, and this is the position of the bird or the object, you can say. So if we draw a line, this is the line of sight, and if we draw a horizontal line, the angle which is formed at the point O, that I have written, angle of elevation of P at O is equal to angle AOP, and this is known as your angle of elevation, okay. Now let us see what is angle of depression. I hope you understood. So when we are talking about angle of elevation, you see the object must be above and the observer must be under. Okay, the observer must be standing under and the object must be above. Okay, so angle of elevation of this point P or the bird at the point O will be equal to angle AOP or angle POA. Now see what is angle of depression. Now consider the reverse situation, converse. Consider the opposite situation. See, suppose a car. Now see, suppose this is the top of a building and a boy is standing here. You see, suppose a boy is the position of the observer. Suppose you are sitting here. Suppose you are sitting at the point P. There is a car. There is a car on the ground. You see. On the ground, there is a car at the point O, suppose. A car is at the point O and you are sitting at the point P on the top of a building. On the top of a building at the point P, suppose you are sitting and you are looking at or you are observing a car standing on where? Standing on the ground. Now see, this is the point of observation. You see, this is the point where you are standing. So this is the observer is standing here. This is the point of observation and this is the position of the object. Here you see, the object is under and the observer. The object is under and the observer is what? Above. So when the observer is above and the object is under. Now look at, again this is the horizontal line HL. This is the horizontal line, okay. Now look at this angle. Look at angle OPA, you see. In this case, what I am trying to convince you children, suppose a car is standing on the ground and you are sitting here on the top of a building. That means this is the position of the what? This is the position of the observer and this is the position of the object. Here the object is under and the observer is above. When the observer looks at the what? This is the line of sight. This is the line of sight. When the observer is looking at the car standing on the ground, what will happen? At the point of observation, if this is the horizontal line, an angle is formed here. So this angle is called your angle of depression. You see, angle OPB. Angle OPB is the angle of depression. So children, what is the difference between angle of elevation and angle of depression? That means what we will write? Here the point of observation, you see. The observer is here, here is the object, here is a car. Okay, see our car. So here we will say that angle of what? Angle of depression. Angle of depression. Whose angle of depression? Angle of depression of O. O means O is the point where the car is standing on the ground. So this is the point where the object is standing. So angle of depression of the point, I mean car of O, angle of depression of O as observed, you see, as observed from where? From the point P equal to which angle? Angle OPB. See children. So this is the angle of depression, this is the angle of elevation. So this is the angle of elevation of whose? This is the angle of elevation of the point P at the point O. But this is the angle of depression of the point O at the point P. That means one thing you should remember here, where the eyes of the observer lie, where the eyes of the observer lie, there only the angle is formed, whether it is angle of elevation or depression. In the first case, the observer was standing here, his eyes were here, so angle of elevation will be formed here. But in the second case, when you were looking at the car standing on the ground, you were looking from above, I mean from the point P, okay, you were looking from the point P. So this is the point of observation. That means your eyes are lying here. So the angle of depression will be formed here. That means the angle of depression or angle of elevation, it is always formed. Where it is formed? It is formed at the point where the eyes of the observer lie. So this is the concept. This is known as angle of elevation. And you see clearly angle of, look at, since this is transversal. Look at, since this is the transversal line OP, this line of sight is the transversal line. So clearly OA and OB, OA and PB, they must be parallel. They must be parallel, and definitely this angle and this angle are what? Alternate interior angle. So they must be equal. That means angle of elevation. See, we can say that angle of elevation of P, angle of elevation of P at the point O is equal to angle of elevation of O at the point P. What I mean to say, angle POA, you see, angle POA must be equal to angle OPB. You see, this is the angle of elevation, angle POA, and angle OPB is the angle of depression. So the angle of elevation must be equal to angle of depression. Okay, in this particular case, angle of elevation of the point P at the point O, which is equal to angle POA, and angle of depression of the point O from the point P is equal to angle OPB, and they must be equal because they are what? They are alternate interior angles. And why they are alternate interior? Because this is transversal and OA and PB are parallel. Okay. So I hope you understood, children, the concept of angle of elevation and angle of depression. In the next class we will see how these concepts of angle of elevation and angle of depression are applied to problems involving trigonometry application. How they are applied to find or to solve problems on height and distance using the concept of angle of elevation, angle of depression, and your trigonometric ratio. Okay, I hope you understood the concept of angle of elevation and angle of depression. We will discuss the rest thing in the next class. Okay.